Hi guys, so today I thought I'd do a quick video on my tattoo. This is going to be like a tattoo experience video and things like that. I'm doing this very quickly because I am going out in a minute, hence the makeup and curly hair, because I normally don't make this much of an effort, but I'm going out with someone, so I am going to try and do my best. Anyway, moving on with the video, let's get started. So I got a tattoo done and I have honestly wanted it forever. I did some research before I started doing it, like deciding to definitely get it done, and I really advise you do that, because if you are like me and have some sort of language on your body, so if it's in a different language or it's just words, you need to sort of know if it's the right words, because you don't want something that's like permanent on your body to be wrong. So I had a look at some Viking alphabets and decided on what symbols I wanted to which sort of represented each letter. Now theoretically speaking, my tattoo doesn't make sense, just because Vikings didn't really sort of spell how like we spell, if that makes any sense. But I found some like old alphabets and used that to base it off of. But anyway, to me, I know what my tattoo means, and it means love in Viking symbols, so yeah. I decided to get it done on my hip, and I had it done about this big. I wasn't really out of focus then. Yeah, I had it done about this big, and the tattoo artist was literally so lovely, and I'm like a wimp with pain. Let me just put that out there. I did not think it would have gone as easily as it did. Let me tell you why. So as I said, I'm like completely coward when it comes to pain, and I just don't like anything that involves pain whatsoever. I stay clear of pain, like literally 24/7. So I was getting really worked up, and I was like, oh my god. Also, another thing I definitely recommend is look at your local council if you're in the UK, or local state if you're in the US. They're certified tattooists, just because you need someone who is definitely reputable and not gonna like give you HIV or anything like that. A lot, you'd be surprised what happens in tattoo parlours. So I researched about mine, and they seemed pretty good, and no one's had any problems, and a few of my friends have gone there, so I thought, why not? So I booked it in, and they were like, oh yeah, it won't take you long, and I was like, okay, so I'm thinking like half an hour maybe. So I get into the shop, and the girl is like, okay, so what am I doing? I'm like, this, and so she scales it up and then stencils it out. And she's like, right, where do you want it? So I was just like, there. So it's on my hip, and I will like insert some pictures in my tattoo. So I was like, right, I'm gonna get it done there. And she's like, right, go and check in the mirror. And I checked it, and because I was so nervous, I was just like, yeah, that looks fine. Now I sort of wish that it had gone slightly higher up, but I'm honestly like, I'm not too fussed about it because I love it anyway. So she was like, right, lie down. So I was like, fuck, oh my god. So I brought a friend with me, and I was like, you're gonna need to hold my hand because I hate pain. So the girl said to me, she was like, oh yeah, you know, like, she's like, is it your first tattoo? I was like, yeah, can you tell? And she was like, yeah, you're so nervous. I was like, I know. So I was lying there, and they got like the tattoo gun thing, and it started like buzzing, and she's like, right, I'm just gonna do one line just so you know what it's gonna be like. So I was like, okay. So I was on my phone, like messaging the person I'm going out with tonight, and I was like, oh fuck, this is gonna happen like soon. And he was like, you'll be fine, and I was like, oh, I don't think I will. So she's like, right, I'm gonna do it now. So I'm like closing my eyes and like, oh my god, could this just be over? Why did I agree to this? So she does a line, and she goes, right, that's one line done. I was like, really? Wait, is that it? And she was like, yeah, pretty much. So in my mind, I thought she like did the lines and then went over the lines a few more times, but apparently that's not what happens. So she carried on, and honestly, like when she did that line, all I felt was, you know, like when you get like an injection or a blood test, it's that initial prick and then it's done, and you just sort of feel her like sort of pulling against your skin because she's drawing a line, obviously. So that did, and I was like, okay, I think I can handle this. So she's like, right, I'll do the other little line then. So she does that, and I didn't really feel that one because it's like a really short line. So she's like, no, you're doing really good. I was like, okay, I think I could do this. And then when she carried on, she's like, right, I'm gonna go like full pace now, if that's alright. I was like, yeah, that's fine, I think I can handle this. So she carried on, and obviously it was like the injection needle sort of again, but I think it got to like just the end bit of my tattoo where it was like, this is like the pace of like what it felt like. So it was like injection, seriously, airplane, you're gonna go overhead while I'm filming a video, how thoughtful. Towards the end, that's when I sort of felt like it was starting to get uncomfortable, but it wasn't like super painful like I thought it would be. So it was like injection, 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 injection sort of thing, but it wasn't like, I thought it was just going to be like searing pain throughout, but that doesn't happen apparently. So like, as I said, I thought I was going to be there for like half an hour, despite the fact that it was a small tattoo, but for some reason in my mind I thought you had to keep going over tattoos. I don't know. So she was like, right hun, you're done. I was like, are you serious? And literally 5 minutes it took. I'm not, no word of a lie. I messaged someone saying, fucking hell, excuse my language. That's when I first felt the injection. So I was like, ah, what was that? And then after that, you know, I was fine. And then I texted him to say, okay, it's all done. And literally the space between them two texts were 5 minutes. I was like, if this is so easy, then I may get a bigger one next time. I was like, right, aftercare, because basically if a tattoo parlour doesn't give you aftercare, then steer clear from it, because they're obviously not very good. So she was really detailed. So she started putting like Vaseline on and like a bandage on my, like, because it was only a small tattoo, she used like just normal sort of bandage. If it was a bigger one, then she would have used clean film, she said. So, and I saw like a guy go out with clean film, that's like what they use, so I knew it was a good tattoo shop. So she was like bandaging it up, and she's like, right, so basically it will probably bleed and weep a little bit, then it will sort of scab. And I was like, that doesn't sound attractive. But she was like, but just don't pick at the scabs. But say you do, and like the lines, because if you pick at the scabs after you have a tattoo, it will sort of pick away the ink and sort of like draw it out, so you end up having a really patchy tattoo. Although luckily, she told me, she was like, if you end up picking at it, don't worry, because we do free touch-ups if we've done your tattoo. So I was like, yeah, that's good. So so I get home and she was like, yeah, it's probably going to be quite sore for the first maybe couple of days, but it shouldn't be sore for more than like 5 days to a week for your tattoo. I was like, alright. So, I mean, standing around, walking around town, it was sort of like a burning, throbbing sensation, you know, like when you fall over and like scrape your knee and it like throbs, and it's not exactly painful, it's just sort of like hot. So that's how I felt it, like it was, but then I just completely forgot about it. And I think the only time it really sort of hurt is when my bag sort of like whacked it, and I was like, ooh, felt that. But it wasn't like anything major. So I get home and take it off after a couple of hours, the bandage, and it weeped a little bit, but nothing excessive. So I took the picture. So the one you're seeing now, you can see there's like slight little bits of redness around it. That's because it was bleeding and things, because that's what tattoos do, because it's a needle going in and out of your skin. Put 2 and 2 together equals blood. He also told me to use Bepanthen cream, which is actually a nappy rash cream, but it works wonders, and literally, like, I swear by this cream because it's amazing. So she had like a load of Vaseline on it, and she was like, right, you can shower, you can't bath for like the first 1 to 2 weeks. I mean, I had a bath today and it's been like a week since I had it done, so I'm horrible. So the first couple of days I was like, well, for one, it's not red and it doesn't hurt and it's not weeping. So I was like, is this right? So apparently it is like some people just get lucky, and it turns out I've got like extremely lucky. Pretty much no redness, no weeping, no bleeding, no pain, no scabbing. And she also said that it can sort of act like bad sunburn where it will like flake, and that's totally normal, but if it obviously flakes for more than a week, then you need to go back and see them just to check it's not like infected and things, because that's quite common with tattoos if you don't take care of it properly. Basically all she told me to do with aftercare is just gently wash it with antibacterial soap and use my Bepanthen cream and just not really soak it, so just sort of like rinse it under and just like lightly wash it with like my clean fingertips, and that's all I did. And pretty much if you feel my tattoo now, like if you sort of run your finger over it, it feels a little bit sort of scabby, which I'm just like topping up with moisturiser. Another good tip, when you have a tattoo you need to stay on top of moisturiser. And also another thing about aftercare is that you're not allowed to go in the sun for like 2 weeks after your tattoo. So if you decide to go and get one for the summer, just for the lols and for like a summer bucket list kind of thing, yeah, don't do it, because you won't be able to go out in the sun with it because it will fade it really bad. So I've been literally like staying inside, hence the pale face. No one's got a tan yet. So yeah, and also for the rest of your life you really need to use high SPF, which you should do anyway to stop skin cancer. But yeah, so in future I'll have to put like SPF 50, especially on that area. So yeah, that is pretty much my experience. I'm sorry it's not exactly exciting. Like, literally I was believing all the horror stories of people going, oh my god, it's so painful, it's like the worst experience of my life. Bear in mind that I had a small tattoo, so having a bigger tattoo may be a little bit different. I'm thinking about getting a bigger one on my rib cage sometime in the near future, so I'll keep you posted on that one, and if that one hurt even more. But yeah, if you check like my Instagram, you'll be able to see the picture of me when I first got it done. I would show you it now, but I'm wearing a dress and I'd have to like lift my dress up and you'd see my pants, and because it's like slightly lower down, I wanted it slightly up my hip bone, but now it just like slightly rests on the pant line, and I feel like, as much as we're close subscribers, I don't think it's right if I show you my pant line, just putting it out there. So yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to comment them down below, and also give me some video tips and ideas, because I'm running out of ideas. And I'm sorry I haven't been updating recently, like literally I've been working. I literally just knocked everything off my desk. I've literally just been like working full on, I don't even know what I'm saying. I've been working like 45 hours a week, so yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you, subscribes, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!